The hospital room is quiet. There is only a single bed, desk, and 2 chairs. One of the chairs is taken up by an old man, Mr. Phillips White. He's half asleep and mumbling. The other man, a younger fellow, sets up a tape recorder, then points it towards the old man. The man is in his 30s, in a white lab coat. At hospital admission, he gave the name Sir Edwards.
The sea holds many secrets.
Louder, Mr. Phillips. The recorder can't hear you, and neither can I.
The sea holds many secrets.
Mr. Phillips?
Don't let them go back there. The sea holds too many secrets.
Mr. Phillips! To the shouting of the younger man, Mr. Phillips wakes with a loud snore. He looks around, confused for a few seconds, then clears his throat and looks up at Sir Edwards.
Yes, dear.
I'm sorry to shout. You were mumbling again.
Blast, I must have drifted off. I'm sorry.
It's nothing, Mr. Phillips. Tell me all you want. I'm listening.
Good. The device is working?
Yes, Mr. Phillips.
The sea holds many secrets, my son. Dark and ugly secrets. No one must know.
Tell me more. What secrets are you talking about?
I can't say.
The old man seems to close up all of a sudden. The man in the white lab coat looks at the grizzled old man for a few seconds, then leans forward. Tell me how you found out about these secrets.
Right. The reason you're here. I was there when the secrets were unearthed. From the bottom of the sea they came. They should have been blasted back with as many cannons as we had on that damned ship.
Start at the beginning, Mr. Phillips.
Right. I was a young man then, full of strength and wanderlust. As many of my peers, I decided to work at the docks. It was a good living. Not much thought to be given, always working on full stomachs, always having a place to spend the money on some beer or rum, or the warm touch of a woman. It was later, when I had been working for years, when a strange man approached me. Damn, I forgot his name. It was,
It's not that important, Mr. Phillips. Go on.
No, I can remember, damn you. He was...
Mr. Phillips, please. The old man is deep in thought, scrunching up his face with effort.
Right, that was his name. Adams. Marion Adams. He was a right enough fellow, well dressed, not suited to the docks. He approached me one night while I was out working late for some extra coin. He wanted a crew. I was not part of a crew, so I pointed him towards the nearest inn, telling him that most sailors are there at this time.
Silence follows. Mr. Phillips is seemingly lost in memories as he gazes off into nothing. The younger man lets him be enveloped in the memories, then, after a minute, he speaks up. Mr. Phillips?
I'm sorry, boy. My mind wandered. Where were we?
At the strange man, Marion Adams, I think you said?
Yes, Adams. He told me. He told me to come to me because he wanted me. Me, I asked him. Yes, you. You look strong, he said. Well-fed, well-mannered. The best crewman a sailor can ask for. Told me he would go around other docks too, and he almost had a full crew. I had my reservations. I never worked on a ship before. Told me it's not a problem. Most of his men haven't before. I got a weird tingle in my stomach, but then he offered the money. Oh, such treasure. I have never seen as much money in my life. Never have since.
How much exactly? Can you remember?
It was too much. I could not have spent it on the strongest ale and the warmest woman if I spent every night for the rest of my life. A lot of coin, I tell you. Offered me in these weird gold trinkets and what have you. Here, I have one here.
Mr. Phillips delves into the pocket of his warm dressing gown and produces a 5 centimeter diameter golden coin. It's thick, at least half a centimeter. The younger man takes it, flips it in his finger a few times. After being satisfied with the weight and look of the coin, he looks up at the smiling old man. Interesting. Can I keep it?
Take it. it's yours. And don't worry, boy, it ain't cursed like the rest.
Go on, Mr. Phelps, and thank you for the gift.
Don't mention it. So, here I was, little old dock worker, asked to work on the ship of some nobleman. Of course, I didn't want to leave land. Never had much love for the water. Had been on a ship or two as a passenger, you see, and it always made me feel funny. Somehow the thought of not being able to keep my feet planted made me feel old, and I didn't like feeling old. Never been sick, just the damn swing. It was enough to knock a man down on his hands and knees. Well, he told me more. They were going on a very special ship. Damn, I forgot his name too.
It's not important, Mr. Phelps. Mr. Phillips looks up, suddenly angry.
Of course it is, boy. Damn you!
I'm sorry. Both men fall silent. Mr. Phillips slowly calms down, his breathing no longer ragged, his face not twisted into a mask of anger.
It's forgotten. I'm angry in my old age. My mind is not what it used to be.
So, what was the ship's name?
Oh, right. It was something like the skipper, skimmer.
Like that. Started in an S anyway. Then he told me it was special. It would not sway. I was more interested. Then he told me it was a short mission. Out to sea, haul some cargo off from the bottom, then back to port. I received my gold trinkets and never see him again. Obviously, I was interested. I told him he had a deal and he smiled. That smile. It made me regret shaking hands with him. Was it somehow odd?
No, not that. It was something in his eyes.
What exactly do you mean?
You know it, boy. When someone smiles, but they have the devil inside. The eyes, they stay as they were, not smiling. Do you understand?
I believe I do, sir. Please, go on.
Right. So, anyway, day comes, I get on board. The other crew was pleasant enough, normal folk like myself. Mostly dock workers without families, with less coin than sense, just like myself. Used to gamble for the 2 days and 2 nights it took to get to the spot. Turns out Adams had us there only to haul. Most of the ship was run by these quiet folk, very pale skin, always wearing long leather, big hats, the like.
Can you remember any of their names?
No, because I didn't ask.
Another hauler told me he tried talking to one of them before Adams warned him and the rest of the bunch. The crew was not happy with their task and were only there because of some pact or contract or what have you. They were mostly outlaws, there to help Adams and be helped by the man. They were not to be trifled with and never spoken to unless to answer them. A real rule, but I've seen worse. Describe them more.
Nothing more to say, boy. I never went any close to them. There were at least 10 of them, damn them all to hell. Adams kept them far enough away from us, and we got to spend the time gambling and the like. There were no drinks, which we voiced to Adams. He left and told us to wait the 2 days back, then we had all the drinks we ever wanted. That at least made us happier. We made it to the place. It was called Smiling Reef, if I remember. Is there such a place still, boy?
Yes. It's off the coast of your birthplace.
Very good. Something I remember well. It was an odd name coming from a landlubber. Ain't never seen it before, but when you're there, it makes sense. There's a thing. What are they called? The reefs.
Coral reefs?
Yes, coral reefs. It's the oddest thing. It's like a big smile, miles long, but visible from the top of the sea. Adams told us to get ready. There were 2 lifting mechanisms on either side of the ship's main deck. We had to assemble the pulleys, but it was easy enough. In an hour or so, we were done. Then Adams told 2 of us to come to him. He was at the top of the main deck, at the driving position or what have you. I was eager to know what was so important, so I went. Another man came with me, although he was more reluctant. When we went to him, he told us that 2 people would have to dive beneath the surface of the water. some machine that would let us breathe, but I never understood what he said.
Mr. Phillips falls silent again. His eyes tear up, but these dry up quickly. The younger man waits for a few minutes, then clears his throat and speaks. Did you accept?
I did, boy, although I shouldn't have. It was a damn tight fit, large ball on my head with a tiny opening of glass I could barely see through. Then the damned suit, as they call it, made of complete rubber, or at least felt like it. It was uncomfortable from the first moment. Anyway, me and this man accept, for we are brave men and don't back away from the sea. Adams also reassured us it was less than 10 meters down. Easy to find, plenty of light from the sun. So, we put the suit and the bowl on, dive in. We had a rope we could tug if anything went wrong, which two of the weird sailors held onto at all times. There was also a tube running to the top of the bowl on my head. I could hear air rushing in through that. I felt almost comfortable as I floated down.
Was there nothing wrong with the equipment? Did you have it checked?
No, and I didn't think to. I just believed Adams that it would work. It slipped my mind, to be honest. My heart was racing at the thought of breathing under the sea to recover some sunken treasure.
What were you there for? Did Adams tell you?
Oh yes, I forgot. He told us both. There were 3 large chests, full of something heavy. We were to loop the rope around as much as we could, and the sailors would pull both us and the treasure up.
Did he say specifically what was in the chests? Mr. Phillips stares off into the distance once again. A second later, his voice comes, although weaker than before, as if he's talking from within the memories.
No, and I didn't ask. It didn't matter, really. They could have been pulling up the treasure of a long-dead pirate king for all I care. I think it was Adams's, though. He wanted to make sure we were very careful. Told us there were other trials before, but they all failed.
Other crews? Did he tell you what happened to them?
Didn't get paid, that's all he said. I was eager to get my riches, so I focused like never before. It didn't seem hard, but I worked my mind. I wanted to think of something to go wrong, and when I couldn't, I tugged on the rope. It started going up. I grabbed hold of it and looked around for the other diver. He was also going up, and we could both see the 3rd chest.
Can you describe these chests a little?
Of course. They were very simple. Metal, leather, the usual. The kind big ladies travel with on top of the carriages. Nothing special.
No gold? Nothing?
No gold. I would have had my eyes pop out if they were gold, believe me. I never seen gold before Adam showed it to me.
Go on. Did you go back for the 3rd chest?
Yes, I did. The other diver were running out, but I enjoyed my time at the bar. Didn't see any creatures or nothing. So I dived back as soon as I got my rope in my hand from another worker. Quickly got the 3rd chest and went back up to the ship. We asked Adams about the chest then, but he didn't say nothing. He smiled again in that weird way of his, then went away with the 3 chests being hauled. The ship also turned back towards the docks. We were happy. The mission was successful, apparently, and we were to be rich.
When did you first suspect something was wrong?
It was a long time later. We were a day into our journey back, I believe. No, half a day. That sounds more like it.
Mr. Phillips gets lost in memories again. The younger man sighs deeply at the new interruption. He glances at his watch, then back at Mr. Phillips. Tell me more.
Right. The ship sailed smooth, then it felt like it jumped. The crew started eyeing the water under us when something jumped up. Damn large fish, bigger than I ever saw. Could have been as long as 3 tall men.
What sort of fish?
That Adams man shouted shark, so I think it might have been that.
What did the crew do?
They told us to clear the main deck. Never be happier to be told to if I'm honest. We all booked it back into the nearest cabin and waited. He couldn't bear not looking out of the door though. It was the damnedest thing.
Mr. Phillips falls silent once again. The younger man looks at the grizzled man, this time waiting for Mr. Phillips to return from his daydream. Eventually, he gives up. What are you talking about? You went quiet again, Mr. Phillips.
I'm sorry, boy. Memories.
Tell me.
Oh, well, you see, even though I didn't like the crew, I didn't want them this fate. No one deserves this. Damned large fish came back, jumped out of the water like a bullet. It skidded along the main deck, and the crewman was caught in its jaws. Blood spurting, screaming, the man was taken to the sea. The other crewmen barely made a move to help. Instead, they all ran back to their posts and started sailing away faster. I was hit hard that day. I don't know what happened. One moment, they are ready to defend the ship. The other, they are leaving one of their own behind.
What did you do?
Nothing, and I regret it. Should have spat in the eyes of every one of those damned weird crewmen, then kick Adams right between his legs. But I didn't. By this time, I learned not to question him. I was damn sure I never wanted to sail again, though.
Did something else happen?
Oh, of course, many things. Some you won't believe.
I'm here to listen, Mr. Phillips, not to judge. Mr. Phillips's face goes through a spasm, turning angry for a second, then returning to its serene look. The old man looks deep in the eyes of the man calling himself Sir Edwards.
Oh, damn you, boy. They all say that, and then they judge me. I'm crazy, apparently. Don't know how to tell if I am. I feel sane, if I'm honest. Am I crazy, boy?
I don't know, Mr. Phillips. You don't sound crazy for sure. I'm here to tell others if you are. Silence. The old man smiles wryly, his eyes turning away from the younger man.
Ah, right. You're the holder of my fate.
Please, Mr. Phillips, get back to the tale. I want to know how it ends.
Oh, as you please, boy. So, one of the crew was gone. I have no idea still how the damn fish managed to take him out. But no matter. The rest of the day went quietly. We sailed on quiet waters, all calm. Next morning, we woke up. Half the crew was gone. Adams told us we'd have to sail for a while. They were ill, he claimed. I didn't believe those people could be ill, but I volunteered again. Didn't have going to wager anymore. The others took it long before. Adams told me to work the sails. Always would tell me what to do. I was tying knots and untying them, if I'm honest. It was good work. Worked the entire body. I felt my muscles swell again. 3 days on water really did tire me, if I'm honest. Anyway, we sailed on. Sometime around midday, another blasted creature came. It was a large snake of some type. Adams told us to leave again, and we gladly did. We heard shouting, and the whole ship crack and creak. The damn snake coiled itself around the body a few times. I took a look outside, although I shouldn't have.
Mr. Phillips falls silent again, giving off abrupt screams every now and then. His head bobs from side to side slowly, his gaze running across the wall behind the younger man. Eventually, the young man grabs Mr. Phillips by the shoulders and shakes him lightly. This brings him out of the panic-induced visions. As the old man calms down, Sir Edward speaks. What did you see, Mr. Phillips?
Excuse me, boy. I'm not in the best of shapes.
Please, Mr. Phillips, tell me what you saw.
The damnedest thing.
The old man mumbles on for a few seconds, only interrupted by the now harsh tone of the younger man. Mr. Phillips!
Right. There's no way to say it. Adams was fighting the gigantic snake. Was in its mouth, propping it open. His face was twisted. I ain't never seen the like. Damnedest thing.
Mr. Phillips returns to mumbling inaudibly. The younger man sighs again, then tries returning the old man to the present. Describe him.
I cannot. It was not natural. It was all purple, little tentacles for his chin. Oh God, I see him now. Make him stop.
Mr. Phillips?
Make it stop. The devil itself.
Mr. Phillips, still staring off into the distance, starts going through spasms as his whole body jumps around on the chair. He is screaming inhumanly at regular intervals, while the younger man goes to his side, holding him down. Mr. Phillips, calm down. There is no one here but you and me.
The sea is the sea. It has dark secrets.
The old man speaks through gritted teeth, practically shouting. His eyes are locked to a point on the low ceiling of his hospital room. Mr. Phillips, calm down, calm down. There you go. Do you want anything? A glass of water? The old man returns to the present, his mind at ease. He is breathing heavily, looking around the room as if it were alien. He takes the tall glass of water, gulping it down swiftly. As Sir Edward returns to his own seat, the old man takes a deep breath and launches into his tale again.
Thank you, boy.
Nothing at all, Mr. Phillips. Do you want to take a break?
No, it's still here. We have to finish.
Who is here, Mr. Phillips?
I'll get to it, damn you.
Sorry, go on.
Adams, his face was all purple. He had no nose. There were no holes on the face except a large mouth and his eyes, larger than before too. There was more strings of the same purple thing coming from his chin, like a long beard blown by the wind, except there was no wind. I saw the crewmen too. I counted them a few times and thought I was going mad. All of them were there. The ones who were real looked the same as Adams himself, except with smaller tentacles on their chins.
Were none of the others like that?
Not then. Later, boy.
Go on.
Well, them snake was killed. Didn't see how. Soon as I glanced at Adams and the crewman, I ducked back below the deck. I didn't tell the others. I did tell them about the snake. It was dead by the time I explained it all. Then Adams called to us. I feared to go out for whatever that man was, but the others went back up to the deck and I followed slowly. Adams was back to normal, pointed at the sails angrily.
Were the ill crewmen still there?
No, they went below deck before Adams called to us, I think. Anyway, he told us to help the crewmen get the sails back on. All three were knocked out by the snake. Adams told us to work fast. It would be a day more until we got back as it was. I wasn't happy, to be frank. I went along with the work, urging the others to work fast as well, so we can get off the damned ship. It was a few hours and the sails were back up. We went on quietly. I could barely hold my body still. Sleep was impossible, to say the least. All I could see was Adams, the damn beast.
Did you ever confront him about it?
Did what now?
Ask him about what he was, where he was from?
No, damn you. I didn't want to do anything with that hell beast. Do you take me for a madman?
No, of course not. I'm sorry, Mr. Phillips. Go on.
As you please. Another quiet night, then the next midday, land was in sight. I could see it with my own eyes, and I almost cried. We made it safe and sound, even though there were two beasts that wanted us dead, and the rest of the crew. I forgot about the midday challenges, if I must, and another came. We were not warned in time. Oh God, there it is again. Damn you. Get back to the sea. It is where you belong. Leave us be. Demon.
Mr. Phillips is speaking as loud as he can, his voice tearing. The younger man steps to his side again as another set of convulsions begin. Mr. Phillips, calm down. It's safe. It's okay.
Oh, damn beast. The sea. That's where it came from.
Mr. Phillips calms down, panting heavily again. He looks around the room once more, then sighs. He looks close to tears. Mr. Phillips, talk on. You're almost home. What happened last midday?
Oh, damn you, boy. I was almost happy here. Living quietly, never having to remember. My brain had all but forgotten. I will never forgive you for this.
I'm sorry, Mr. Phillips. You wanted to talk about this and record it.
Right. I'm sorry, boy. I forgot. I forget a lot. But I never managed to forget the damn beast. The devil itself, I tell you. It had eyes of fire.
Start again. You were almost ashore. It was midday. What came out of the sea?
Damn it. Blast. How could we?
The old man's voice is stressed again, only stopped by the shout the younger man gives off. Mr. Phillips! Focus!
I'm sorry, boy. The damn thing holds me still.
What was it?
It was one of them.
Whom?
Adams, blasted. A huge one at that. Bigger head than the ship itself. Tentacles of steel, I tell you. Larger than a man all by themselves. Beard of tentacles. Eyes of fire.
What else do you remember?
It had smaller things coming from its skin. Like Adam's, human-sized. Damn this thing.
Other creatures like it or Adams?
Right. They were all swarming around its face, ducking out of its skin, then swimming along it for some time, then ducking back into the skin. I felt the cold touch of death on my heart. We all screamed, but Adams didn't care. The large thing took one look over us, and then looked back at Adams. I will never forget its words.
Silence. The younger man waits for Mr. Phillips to go on. Suddenly, the old man clutches his chest above his heart. Sir Edward springs up next to Mr. Phillips. Mr. Phillips, are you okay?
My heart! Bring the doctor!
Sir Edward runs the 3 steps to the door of the hospital room, throws it open, and begins shouting. Damn! Can we get a doctor in here? His heart's stopping! A doctor! A man, dressed similarly to Sir Edward's, enters, his white lab coat twirling as he runs. What happened? Nothing. We were talking. I have it recorded here. He got worked up, then he started screaming about his heart. The doctor goes over to the now unresponsive old man and starts examining him with a stethoscope. Another attack. I don't know if you can bring him back. Try. His story is more important than I can explain. His life is more important to me than any words you can say. Blasted theorists. Thanks, Doctor. I appreciate the sentiment. Nurse, get in here! As a young woman passes, dressed in scrubs, she stops by the entrance to the room and quickly pulls in a small trolley filled with medicine of all descriptions. Sir Edwards quietly walks to the corner of the room, out of the way but still watching intently. The doctor is still listening to the erratic heartbeat of the old man. Mr. Phillips's gowns had been opened up. Start resuscitating. The nurse nods and starts trying to resuscitate with an item of the trolley, while the doctor glances back at Sir Edwards. Scholar, bring me that needle. Yes, that one. Good. Fill it with this. You see the marks? Fill it to the 25 line or just below, then squeeze a little out. There. Till there's only liquid coming out. That's good enough. Hand it here. As the doctor explains, Sir Edwards fills the hypodermic needle with the liquid the doctor gave over and follows every command. As he finishes, he gingerly passes the now full needle to the doctor. The man practically punches the needle into Mr. Phillips's chest, pressing down on the plunger with force. The liquid enters the body, and the doctor returns to listening to the heartbeat through his stethoscope. He's not responding quite yet. Let's wait and see. I gave him 20 mils of anatrazine. If there's any chance he will survive this, that should give him a hand. 10 seconds grind by. The nurse keeps using the plastic breathing apparatus to pump oxygen into Mr. Phillips's lungs, while the doctor keeps listening to the old man's heart. The nurse finally finds a pulse, nodding this to the doctor. Just as she does, Mr. Phillips takes a deep, ragged breath, ending in coughing. The doctor withdraws with a deep sigh of relief. Give him a few more minutes. Stay with him, nurse. The woman simply nods. And you, scholar, finish your talk quickly. If another seizure hits, we won't have this luck. We're almost done. A few more minutes. I don't know how you got him so riled up, but you should not bring whatever you were talking about up. He may not even remember. I'm almost done, as I said. Then I'll leave. Good. Make this sooner rather than later. Yes, doctor. As the doctor leaves, silence falls in the room. The nurse busies herself picking out 3 or 4 pills from the medicine trolley and places them into a plastic cup. She puts this down on the table and watches Mr. Phillips. The old man is pale, but the regular checks on his neck reassure the young woman he is still alive. Both the nurse and Sir Edward's wait in silence, only broken when the young man checks his watch every now and then, sighing deeply every time. Just as the nurse is about to scold him for his impatience, Mr. Phillips's voice rings out, sounding weak.
Boy.
The young man rushes to the side of the table where the old man is sitting. Yes, Mr. Phillips.
Is the recording still going?
Yes, Mr. Phillips.
I don't have it in me, boy.
It's no matter, Mr. Phillips. I'll come back later.
No. You don't understand. I see him.
Who? Before answering, Mr. Phillips's face twists into a wide smile. The old man is staring off into nothing again.
Him, boy. I'm done.
No, Mr. Phillips. The doctors can help you. Tell this nurse here what the problem is. They will help. I must know.
Oh, boy. No time.
The nurse steps up, asking what the problem is, offering medicine to ease the pain.
You don't get it, girl. There is no medicine. I see death.
The nurse takes a step back, her face ashen. No, Mr. Phillips, fight it, like you fought all your life. There is a moment of silence. The nurse is lost. Sir Edward's anger rises. Suddenly the old man before them starts speaking in a hollow voice.
The sea holds many secrets. Don't let them go back there. The sea holds too many secrets.
Mr. Phillips, who are you talking about? Tell me. I must know.
The sea holds too many secrets. The chests, all theirs, they told us. Did things to us unimaginable. I can tell you.
Mr. Phillips, talk to me. What did they do? Who are they?
Too many damn secrets. Didn't want us to leave at first. We were happy with our new lives.
The younger man is kneeling by Mr. Phillips's seat at this point, holding the old man by the shoulders. The nurse is standing by, not knowing what to do. What? The nurse tells Sir Edwards that the old man is delusional, that he needs to go back on the breathing machine. The woman finally decides to act, pulling off a small machine from the medicine trolley. Sir Edwards stands up, facing the nurse. No, you must wait. He's still talking to me. The nurse tells him he's talking to death, and she has to save his life.
The sea. It was beautiful. They showed us.
As the old man speaks, Sir Edwards turns back towards him, bringing the recorder still sitting on the table closer to Mr. Phillips. What did they show you? Quickly, Mr. Phillips!
They showed us the way, the life. Then I did it. I could not stand them anymore. I had to go. I wanted to live, not to be there anymore. The sea. It has so many secrets. They're all gone now.
Who are you talking about? Mr. Phillips! The nurse tries to place a mask on the old man, but Sir Edwards pushes her away. The woman is adamant and still manages to stabilize the old man just as his head blows to one side, the machine pumping oxygen into the mask. She waits for a few seconds, checking the old man's pulse. She tells Sir Edwards that the old man is stable and that she's calling security. In horror, Sir Edwards watches the woman leave, then turns back to Mr. Phillips. The old man answers weakly, his voice barely a whisper through the plastic mask. Mr. Phillips, tell me, what did you see? What did you find? What secrets?
The sea. Too many. I was with them.
The nurse returns in moments, 2 burly men, dressed in security uniforms closely following. She points at Sir Edward's, telling the guards that he assaulted her and kept her from giving the proper treatment to the old man. Mister, come with us, please. No, I must learn more! As the two men step closer into the room to remove the young man, he backs up all the way to the window on the far wall. The guards keep closing in. Mister, calm down. Let's take a walk. We can let you back tomorrow. Sir Edward laughs maniacally, shaking his head. When next he speaks, almost all of the hospital can hear him. He's shouting so loud. It's too late, you idiots! He's still talking to me! No, sir. He's on medicine, and most likely hallucinating. Please, come with us. Don't make us take you. Damn you all! You can't see! He's the key to our species! No, he's an insane old man. Alright, sir, come with us. No, get away! There are only 3 steps separating the 2 guards from Sir Edward's. He's pressed up against the window as much as he can. As the guards take another step forward, the young man's hand disappears in a hidden pocket on the side of his lab coat. The guards stay still. The glint of a knife blade comes to them as Edward slowly pulls the weapon halfway out of the pocket. Sir, don't pull that weapon or we will be forced to take you. Get away from me! No! Both guards rush in. The knife flashes, slicing the first guard in the stomach. The man ignores the flesh wound, punching the young man in the face. The hit knocks Edwards out immediately. Ugh, you dumb boy! Did he get you? He did, well enough. The nurse runs off without words, while the 2 security guards glance down at the unconscious Sir Edwards. Is it deep? No, barely nicked the skin. I'll follow the blood. I see that, you dumbass. Sorry, Bob. Should have gone in first. No matter. Easy out. The second man kneels down, then shakes the shoulder of Sir Edwards. No response comes. Definitely. Barely twitching. Take him to the first ward. He's not allowed to come to this wing anymore. I'll call the officers. They'll take care of him. Yeah. I'm testifying against him for damn sure. After that, he almost got at you. I would. Well, just watch. He's going to the chair, I tell you. The nurse returns, bringing a thick roll of gauze, disinfectant and tape with her. She quickly patches the guard up. Thank you, sweetie. The woman nods, and with the first security guard, leaves the room. The second security guard picks up a set of handcuffs from his belt and locks Sir Edwards to the radiator in the room. Happy with the job well done, he follows the nurse and the guard. What was that madman about? The nurse simply shakes her head. They stop at the entrance to the room, Mr. Phillips, defeated, looking in their directions, ignored for the time being. Did you leave something in the room? The nurse points out the recorder still going in the room. She offers to take it to the nearest examination room, ordering the security guard to meet her there. Yes, ma'am. The woman returns to the room, while the 2 security guards amble over to the nearest clean room. The nurse picks up the recorder still set out on the table and fiddles with it for some time. Mr. Phillips knocks the mask off his mouth partially. Sweetie. The nurse steps closer. Sweetie, never go to the sea. Too many damn secrets. The nurse nods. Where is the boy? The woman tells Mr. Phillips that Sir Edwards attacked the security personnel and he's waiting for the police to take him. The old man glances down at the unconscious, handcuffed Sir Edwards. A faint smile runs across the old man's features. I'm not worried about him. I'm worried about you all. He listened, and you don't. The sea. It has too many secrets. It will swallow you, sweetie, and it will take great pleasure from it. The nurse simply nods again. Before she leaves, she turns back to Mr. Phillips. She offers to get him some more pills so he can rest easy, with sweet dreams. Thank you, sweetie. You are the greatest. The sea. Secrets. The nurse finally manages to stop the tape recorder, leaving the room with it in her hands. At the nearest reception, she places it down and goes on her way, uncaring for the recorder.